Hey, Rob here for Quadratec. Today we're continuing the ARB build-up of this 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. I've already installed that Old Man Emu BP51 suspension and that classic stubby front bumper on our Jeep. If you want to check those out, you can click the info button to watch those videos. Now today, before I get this Jeep off the lift, there's two areas I wanted to address underneath of this Wrangler, and that's adding some additional protection to the front and rear diff covers. We're going to be installing some ARB Competition Diff Covers, swapping out these lightweight factory stamped steel covers. Now, I've already gone ahead and drained the gear oil from our rear axle here and removed that factory cover. Anytime you're completing a differential service where you're removing the cover, it's the perfect opportunity to go ahead and inspect the condition of your ring gears and spider gears for any potential damage or excessive wear. Now, this Jeep has pretty low miles on it, so we didn't expect to see any problems when we opened it up. Now, before I install the new cover from ARB, this is the perfect chance to go ahead and compare the two on the table, and you can see what a huge difference there is between this lightweight factory stamped steel cover and this heavy duty high tensile solid nodular iron cover from ARB. ARB has designed this cover to stand up to impacts and abuse on the trail without fear that a rock is going to puncture through that cover, leaving you with no fluid left in your axles and ruining your day of fun on the trails. ARB has also designed this cover to give you a high clearance design to help minimize those trail impacts, and this unique computer optimized cross brace design actually helps to increase the overall torsional rigidity of your axle housing by over 960 foot-pounds. Yes, that means installing an ARB diff cover is actually going to strengthen up your factory axles. Now, by doing so, it's going to help your ring and pinion maintain proper engagement with each other, and that's going to extend the life of your gear set and things like your bearings as well. Now, the other thing that an ARB diff cover does is make servicing your axles easy. It includes both a drain plug and a fill plug. The fill plug actually incorporates a dipstick right there onto the plug, both of which have high power rare earth magnets incorporated into them to help capture and contain any metal particles or shavings that may be suspended in your gear oil. Getting your new covers installed is a pretty easy task. It only requires a few hand tools. You'll need a 3/8 drive socket wrench to remove both the drain plug and fill plug on that factory cover. I like to use a short extension with that as well. A 10mm socket to remove those factory cover bolts, and then a 6mm and 8mm Allen socket to install the new socket cap screws, as well as the drain and fill plugs into the ARB cover. You'll also need a torque wrench to ensure that you're not over tightening those new cover bolts when you're installing them. Before we put the cover in place, we also need to mark on our dipstick the appropriate fill level. The easiest way to do that is to go ahead and flip both covers over on a table, line them up. I like to use 2 of the bolts to go ahead and keep them in line with each other. Lay a straight edge down, lining up the bottom edge of the fill plug on the factory cover and the dipstick, and then scribe a line on there. That's going to make it really easy when you're checking for the fill level of your gear oil in your axles or checking the condition of your gear oil. The other thing I really like that Jeep has done is switch to using these reusable style gaskets on here. It means we don't need to spend any time scraping away any old gasket or fumble with making a new gasket. The first thing we can do is go ahead and line up that reusable gasket with our ARB diff cover. I like to insert 2 of the socket cap screws in place to line everything up. We can hold it up to the axle and start by hand tightening those screws. Now, with the gasket aligned and the cover held in place with a couple bolts simply finger tightened, you want to make sure that you're installing the longer bolts here at the cross bracing on the cover. The rest of the short bolts can be installed around the cover. Once everything is finger tight, we can come back with a torque wrench and torque all of these bolts to between 18 and 22 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. Next, we can install the drain plug. Both the drain plug and fill plug feature a rubber O-ring to help prevent any leaks, and both of these will just need to be hand tight. At this point, with all of our fasteners in place, you can see that the socket cap screws sit below the face of the diff cover. That's going to help protect them from any potential trail damage, meaning you're not going to have to fight with damaged fasteners in the future when it's time to complete another differential service. ARB Competition Diff Covers are available in your choice of either black or red powder coat finishes. Once they're coated, they're then CNC milled to reveal the ARB logo, as well as at the location for all the fasteners, drain and fill plugs, and then finally finished in a clear coat to help keep them looking great for many years to come. Now at this point, the only thing left for me to do is to go ahead and repeat all the same steps up on that front axle to get the competition diff cover installed to protect our front differential housing as well. And then, well, just grab some fresh gear oil so that we can fill up our axle housings. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well as the notification icon. So be sure to catch the next video in our ARB buildup of this Wrangler. And go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me as well. Now, if you want to get more information or to purchase an ARB competition diff cover for your Jeep, you can click that info button to head over to Quadratec.com. If you have any comments or questions about any of the products I talked about today, you can always leave them for me down in the comments section below, or contact us directly at any of the options on the screen. Until next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you guys out on the trail.